So the goal is to model a cylinder. We're going to put a small chamfer over here, which is like a little angle. It makes it better to print. Fusion 360 has a graphical user interface, which makes it nice. It's a parametric design system, which means as you design it, you're basically programming what the design is going to look like. And later on, if you want to change the variables, like this, the width, the height, the chamfer size, you can go back in time in the history of the stuff that you built and change those things, and then it kind of propagates through the design. So if you do things correctly, it's very easy to kind of make one design and then iterate on it, which is what we want to do. Other software that you could do that with more programmatically is OpenCAD, OpenSCAD, OpenSCAD, it's sometimes called. There's also JSCAD, which is a JavaScript version. It's basically the same API, but it's JavaScript. So we're going to start by just drafting a cylinder. And it's asking us what plane we want to do it on. We're going to start here, and then I'm just going to put it in the 0 spot. Specify the diameter of the circle. My quick actions. You can see the 2 arrows in here that it's asking us for the diameter. It's even verbally asking us. So we're just going to put in 30.00, and that's going to be 30 millimeters. Now it's asking us how tall. Just take my calipers off screen here, and I'm going to measure the existing height, because currently 120 millimeters tall. 120.00. There we go. We've got our cylinder. Now you can see it in blue. Change the material. What we're going to print this in, plastic.
Yeah.
I'd be able to just search for it. PLA. Okay, we got plastic. We'll just do plastic matte white and download that. Favorites, that'll be easier to find later. Well, that looks great. This is a final rendering of our cylinder. Now we want to be back in design. Visual style, shaded with visible edges only. Oh, we've got a cylinder. That's the first step. So chamfers are great. I like chamfers so much. I'm gonna pin it to toolbar. There we go. Now we can get access to chamfers anytime. Why would we want this edge right here chamfered? If you don't do it, you can have a little bit of an elephant foot. And what we're going to do is we're going to select this edge. So that edge is selected. You see how it's blue? It's selected. We're going to hit chamfer. And now we can say how many millimeters we want. There's different categories for how to do it. You can either change it over here where you're changing like the left and the right. Right now they're equal. You can set these different settings here on what one you want to do. The edge-based features that we're going to modify is done based on selection. We've got this little blue arrow that's showing you where to do the chamfer. And it says tangent chain. I think that has to do with the way that it kind of does it. These other features aren't relevant because we're doing a cylinder. So we're going to come in here and we're going to enter in our chamfer. And our chamfer, let's just start with like 5 millimeters. That is a lot. It just makes a nice little edge that is a little bit cleaner. So when you have a chamfer and equal edge, you're basically doing right angle triangle. Yeah, right? So your edge is 45 degrees. And 45 degrees on a 3D printer actually prints really nicely. Zoom window. There we go. Nice and big. And we can come over here and we can rotate this. And now we're viewing it from the underside. Looking at the underside now, right? So we're gonna come back over here, escape to get off of the grabby hand. So we've got that edge highlighted, and we're gonna come back and we're gonna do another chamfer. So we've got 0.5 on the bottom, 0.5 on the top. We can go back and view our other angle. Oh, F6. So go ahead and we can export this now, and we could try a 3D print. I have modified the printer a little bit. So it's got a diamond tip nozzle on it, which I'm going to check which size it is first before I turn on the heat. So the printer's on, and I'm looking over here, and I got a blue, got an E3D diamond tip nozzle, and it's got some use on it. trying to remember what size the blue is. It's been a while. I think it's 0.6 because that's going to affect our settings. Okay, that's screwed in nice. And I'm going to reset the printer. This is PLA, so on the printer, I'm going to just preheat it. That way it's getting hot while we're doing some of the finishing steps. I've got our cylinder. Now we just want to print it. If I wanted to be fancy and I had set it up in advance, and I don't want to do that, but I could just export this directly to the printer. So I want to print in vase mode because we can print this pretty fast in vase mode. And that will, if we print in vase mode, it'll basically confirm and validate the size. Mm-hmm. This shape should validate and print in vase mode pretty well. It might have some problem up here at the top if we were trying to make a manufactured part, like a functional part. This top part would be problematic.
Right
but
there.
It should be, a printer should be able to span that gap and create the surface, because otherwise it wouldn't have anything to rest on in the middle and it might sag. But that's okay for what we're doing right now. Got a choice of file options here. It's just fine. Object, we want to select the object. Now it's selected. Fusion 360 says one is there. Oh, so it's showing us what the geometry is going to look like. Refinement. It basically doubles the number of triangles if we do high. Honestly, I could probably set this to low and it would be just fine. But if you notice, this curve is going to have more straight lines defining it. So it'll look a little less curved. Medium's probably sufficient. All right, name, body 1. Desk shelf pillar. We're not going to save it to the cloud. I'm loading Prusa Slicer for the first time. Prusa Slicer.
Yeah.
And here is the configuration assistant.
Which is what we're on right now.
So this modal or dialog box is hovering on top of that other one. We're going to go through the configuration assistant here. It's just saying welcome. We're going to click next. These are all the presets that it wants to load. So that's fine. We're going to click next. It's going to download those and install them. Now, one of the things I really like about Prusa Slicer is that it's got all these configurations for all these different printers, and it's got some input shaper presets. So it knows the weight of the print head. It knows all those dynamics. It knows what the resonant frequencies are for all the stuff that the configurations that Prusa sets. I'm just installing the printers that I already have. We'll come in here and we'll put in our favorite PLAs. I've got a little bit of everything here, to be honest. All right, I think I've got all the ones that we're kind of aware of. Update built-in presets automatically. Sure, I guess so. Allow built-in downloader. Sounds good. Reload from disk. Export full path names of models and parts. I'm not sure about that. I'm going to leave it unchecked because that's the default. We're not going to use that Imperial system. No, we're not. Okay, so here we go. We're loading it. Point 1. I don't want to use that. I want to change my nozzle. So I'm going to start with a 0.6. Infill, we're going to set to 0. That basically sets to base mode. Yeah. I could do, here, I'll do 5%. So now it popped up. It's going to start in the center of the screen. You can see these chamfers now, right? You can see what's going to get printed. And at 5% infill, right now we have a default of gyroid on the inside print settings. So when we come over here, and you can see infill, we've got gyroid. So what we want to do is we can change this to anything that we want to change it to. In the bottom right hand corner, it's giving you the estimates, right, of how long this is going to take to print. And right now we've got it printing 2 outside perimeters. All right, so we're gonna export. Let's see.
Export.
I'm gonna go back. Yeah, I'm gonna do it as fast as possible. Do it to downloads. All right, so I've got my G code. I'm gonna drag it into the default part of Octoprint here. Octoprint is loading the file. I've got my desk shelf. It's loaded. It's ready to go on the right. Now I've got this cool plugin loaded where I can tell it what filament I have in it. So now it keeps track of my filament that I've used. So now we come over here to print. Now printer is warming up. We can come over here and see the raw commands that are happening.
Oh, I didn't.
So we're printing the first layer right now.
It always feels like magic. Like it was in my mind, and now it's a real thing in real life. I conjured it.
This should take 37 minutes to print. We're done! The print finished. It came right off. We just printed a cylinder. It's just a cylinder. It's nothing really fancy. It's just a cylinder, right? And if we did it correctly, we were able to get the height correct. So if you look at this, we're able to actually get 100% correct height. So my printer is set up to be dimensionally accurate. Let's measure it. I said in CAD, make it 120 millimeters tall, and it is 119.75. So, that's less than 1% off. All right, bye.